Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, you saw me this morning. Hopefully you were able to go back and watch my energetic video. So now it's a few hours later and we're focusing on the mental mojo instead of the physical mojo. And I wanted to chat with you today a little bit about self-talk. I received an email from a client of mine who was talking to me about how she's really working on this hard and some things that she's noticing. So she's picking up on the thoughts that she has that are really kind of self-blaming and self-grandizing, and which create self-doubt. And so I want to tell you what she said. She said, you know, I've been trying to have more confidence in myself and engage in more positive self-talk. Awesome. Sometimes I'm trying so hard with this, though, that it can start to feel difficult. And I posted this quote on my personal Facebook page, guys, if you want to go there and check it out. She said, it wears me out. And as strange as that may sound, because it's actually for my own benefit. Still, it doesn't matter. A lot of things that we do, guys, that we know are in our service and that we show up for because we know they're good for us, they can begin to feel exhausting. They still, especially if they're new and take effort, can feel tiring. So it doesn't mean that there's anything, that she's doing anything wrong. Heart me up. Who's here? Let me see this. Oh, hey, Tyler. Tyler's here. Awesome. Okay. So she said, it's certainly true for me that they die hard. These thoughts die hard. But they must die. I can do this. They must die. And I love her attitude. She said that one of her old habits that she recognizes, this thought that this is too hard. This is too hard. This is a thought that she hears in her head and says to herself multiple times per day, I think. She noticed that if she took the word to out of that thought, it totally changed her perception of what it meant. It changed the meaning of it for her. She said, if I just take that to out of it, then it's just hard. Then it's just hard. And I found that I can handle hard. I can handle hard. I've handled hard before. I've handled hard multiple times. I can do this. And I've even lived to tell the story about it, she said. So this was really poignant and compelling. So I wanted to piggyback off of that, her whole experience, and give you guys some other mental shifts, some tools that you can use when you start to notice those pesky negative thoughts, that self-talk. So one of them that has you using the least amount of energy, because remember, she's talking about how this can feel really tiring, is noticing. So this is your first strategy, is just to notice the pesky thought, okay? Sometimes it's easiest to just begin seeing what is scrolling across the marquee of your mind. Noticing it like this. Oh, that was interesting that I had that thought. And not moving into berating yourself. Like having the thought, this is too hard. You're noticing that thought in your head and not going into, I can't believe I'm having that freaking thought again. What is wrong with me that I can't stop thinking about that thought? That's where we don't want to go. So it's just noticing, wow, I had that thought again. Wow, I had that thought again. That's interesting. Just being an observer, okay? Then here's the second strategy. It's to actually change the thought. So 1 is just noticing. 2 is to actually change it, to alter it in some way. For example, she noticed that if she took the word to out, it had a totally different, it took the valence out of it, right? So here's something that you can try, guys. Change the words and then say it out loud. So for her, it was, this is too hard. Then she took the word to out. This is hard. It sounds different. It has a different meaning. Then you can change the tone and say it out loud. This is too hard. this is too hard. This is too hard. Each time you do it a different way, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel different coming out of your mouth. It's going to feel different within your body because it has a different meaning. So you can change the tone, you can change the actual words, you can change the inflections that you're using, and see how it changes how you feel also. The one that I love, guys, is to keep saying it. It's like when you have a word, you're like, banana. I don't know why I thought banana. Banana, 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 banana. It starts to just sound weird. It has zero meaning. It's this cluster of letters. Do the same thing with your pesky thoughts. See what happens. So here's the third strategy, okay? And I'm actually going to give you 4. So the first is noticing. The second is changing. The third is inquiring. So this is where you get to be very curious. And this, to me, guys, this strength of curiosity is what allows us to have a greater perspective, a greater adaptability with anything in our lives. So with the inquiry method, this is what you do. After you notice the thought, you can say, well, that's interesting. This is what I mentioned before, but that's interesting. I wonder what other situations, or if there are certain people or circumstances that I tend to have that thought around. What do I do when I usually have that thought? Do I move into a certain behavior? Do I act a certain way? Do I find that when I have that thought, it changes my mood? Interesting. Because then what this does, guys, is it puts us in a position to start observing some more. So it can really give us a great, more information. Here's the last one, and I like to call it grounding. Number 1 was noticing, 2 was changing, 3 was inquiring, 4, grounding. And what this means, and this does not take as much effort, this is probably, it's one of the least effortful ones, is to move into a practice of gratitude. And you know what? Check out Ashley Barnhart's Periscope from early this morning. I think she did it at 6 a.m. Eastern time. So it was 3 o'clock here. But I got to rewatch it, and she talks about this. She talks about how she starts her Monday morning, starts the week off that way, and asks herself, what am I grateful for? But spend a couple minutes each night on this gratitude exercise, because it's really going to help you foster the ability to more automatically think in a more positive manner. So we can do these very active, we can put into place these very active strategies to begin thinking more positively in a more automatic way. Because you know what, guys, thinking negatively really, for a lot of us, it's our default. It's our default. But even though it's our default, we may think that initially, we don't have to follow it down the rabbit hole, those negative thoughts. So, okay. Well, this was your Mojo Monday Periscope, and I will likely be on maybe tomorrow, but I'll post it up on Facebook. Go to my personal page. You can find it by name, Kori Propst. You can also go to the Diet Doc page, where Dr. Joe Klemzeski and I will both be posting our schedule for our Periscope broadcasts. So you guys have an awesome afternoon. We'll chat soon.